Yo, what's going on, y'all? So we got an update today. We got the level cap, and really, I just want to hop on here because I'm still going to provide y'all with the important stuff, which I'm a gameplay person. So this one is rather important. The FIXA changes that have occurred across the board, which has rebalanced everything and has really hurt some of you Abindac players. So let's dive into that. Let's have the old numbers, the new numbers, how it was affected, everything that was affected, all the above. So that way you are very well informed. And if you want to change your fixer or whatever, now you know what you should be doing or how you should be approaching it. So let's dive in real quick and get you good, get you set so we can get the frick out of here. Y'all can do whatever the hell you want to do because I'm sure y'all got plenty of stuff to do right now anyway. All right. But first, if you would please be sure to like and subscribe. That would be absolutely fabulous. Thank you. All right. So for those who are not aware, they revamped the fixes on pretty much most all the weapons and on one unit. So this was listed as well in the maintenance, just that they were changing these, of course, and this was listed in the headline, of course, too, that they were going to change them. Didn't tell us what the changes were going to be. So I got the changes for you here and the numbers for you. These changes are going to be for the following fixes. As seen here, right here, you will see that these were affected by attack, Termina, Fatale, Wix, Blaster, and then Guard as the armor one. There's also this little EX element down here that if you want to know about that, but we're not covering that. I don't care about that right now, even though I do use this, and this is actually huge. But we're focusing on the fixes right now, so that's what I want to cover for you. So pretty much all the weapon fixes besides Abendak and besides Unwix are the two that you're going to be not getting. So this is pretty much how this works out here. I made this list for you, so that way you're aware of the changes that are occurring here. So let's go ahead and pop this open. As you can see right here, this is a little spreadsheet that I just compiled for y'all real quick. Nothing too fancy. Don't cry about it. It's whatever. Look, it's as long as you can read it, it's fine. Hopefully you can read it. Hopefully these colors aren't too crazy. I mean, it looks okay on my screen. Maybe it's not okay on yours. If I pop this up or zoom this in or something like that, maybe you'll be fine. But nonetheless, you'll see here that these are the new ones. So I did the liberty of giving you the FIXA 1 and FIXA 5. And these are the old ones down here below. So you'll see that these are pretty massive changes that we got here. Maybe I should put this in put this in white or something like that. That would be easier for y'all to read, to be honest. Let's put that in white so that way y'all can see it maybe a bit better. But as you can see here, these are going to be the changes for the new ones. So the attack is going to be 10% versus a 9% of what it was previously. Fatale is going to get a huge boost of 6% as seen right here versus this 22 that it was at. It's going to be at 28 now. Fatale's the crit hit rate. That's pretty massive. So remember, if you're building this really puts this back into play, because pretty much how this is going to work usually with these potency or crit ones is that if you're more so in a straight potency build, then a lot of times these crit rates, is going to, because crit damage is basically based off of your potency, how high your potency is. So this crit rate will definitely add some extra oomph to it. And also this actually changes up some gameplay here, because with you getting this big boost and then with the inherent boost that you might have from your add-on skills and things of the such, this actually adds a bit more oomph even if you're not using the Slayer sub. So keep that in mind as well, because you don't have to necessarily use the Slayer sub, and so you're still kind of getting a very big jump on your crit hit values here. If you're using Slayer sub, or if you're playing Slayer in the first place, you should be using Terminal, obviously. But if you're using Slayer sub, then this could be very beneficial for you. Keep that in mind if you're thinking about, where you should go, how you should flex things around or whatnot. Consider this, because that's a very big jump. It's very, very competitive with Fatale now. And then we have Termina, which got a 4% jump over here from 20 to 29 from 25. These are at FIXA 5. You have Wix that also got a very big jump. Wix really comes in a very strong spot right now, especially considering that Abendak did not get affected here. Wix comes into a very hot spot right now if you are in a class that can use Wix. Remember, Wix is your weapon that does damage against weak points. So per se, this weapon right here, I have one right here on me. So let's go to this right here. My Acrocilio rifle should be oh, did I never change that? I never changed it to rifle. There we go. So this one is a Wix right here. Oh, actually, my rod was the accuracy. My rod is this. So potency to weak points plus 12% is going to be with that is, which is pretty massive right there. Pretty massive right there. Now, if we go back to this menu here, or go back to the spreadsheet rather, you're going to see that Unwix did not get affected, nor did Abendak. Remember, this was to kind of scale things around Abendak in the first place. So naturally, they said that. They specifically said that. So we knew Abendak wasn't going to get any sort of love here, which it shouldn't have, because Abendak was already brokenly strong, and it was just going to become more brokenly strong with this update and with an 8 slot. So naturally, they had to do something here, right? But nonetheless, we have a 1% potency increase on the blaster, whereas the 12% on the photon blast stays the same. So the same PB, but you get a 1% potency boost here. So this is going to be 9% versus the 8% that it was prior. But the 12% photon blast is going to stay or remain the same. And then down here, guard is the one unit that got some loving too. Everything else is the same. Orchis, Increza, all that stuff, Performa, all that's the same. However, guard got a boost up of 2% from 5 to 7. Oh, excuse me. This is that FIXA one. From 5 to 7. That's still from 5 to 7. And as you'll see here, I did the liberty of putting the FIXA ones for you too. So you could see how the big of a jump is this, such as Fatal being 20 here at FIXA 1 versus the 14 it was prior. 16 at Termina prior, 20 now at FIXA 1. So these are some pretty huge jumps that were put into the game here, and this is all to balance everything out, which is exactly what it does. And now this kind of gives you other options to potentially build your weapons or build your units if you want to go that damage resistance route with that guard. So remember that attack is really, really heavily towards really benefits if you have a balanced build where you have potency and you have 4 potency. That's where attack really benefits and shines in, which is, I run the potency balance build. So I have, a damage adjustment. This is prior to me leveling up and putting stuff on my element, so this will probably be higher next time you see it. But I have this here, so I have an 81.1% damage adjustment, which is your potency 4. So as such, your attack, having that potency is going to be very nice to that when you have that. So I use Blaster on a lot of my stuff, and I have an attack as well, which I'll probably change to Blaster, because that 1% and having that Photon Blast 12% it's very beneficial, because it's just 1% on the attack versus that Photon Blast plus 12% that you get on top of that. So we'll probably change that. But nonetheless, having that attack or that Blaster, of course, that potency in general is really going to come into play when you're looking at your 4 potency. So if you're running a balanced build, you generally want to lean towards those potency fixes. Generally, that's what you want to lean towards. So attack or blaster, or even, if you're running a class that can use Wix, of course, such as Ranger, that's always definitely good. They can definitely utilize that, or a Force Rod as well can utilize Wix very well to match elements. So these are all options that you can use. And so I just wanted to make sure that y'all were aware of this. So we'll put this chart back up here one more time. Make sure that y'all were aware of this. So that way y'all can plan accordingly to switch anything up. Now, if you have any questions about this, feel free to ask in the comments. But pretty much all your information is right here. I make this nice and simple for you. So that way you weren't going to be like, oh no, what did we do? What do we do? What do you do? What can you do with a clone deck bar? Or however that jingle goes. Anyways, so whatever. At any rate, y'all, I just wanted to give y'all an update on the fixes in particular. Everything else can wait. I felt this was important for y'all to know, especially for my gameplay players such as myself, who obviously levels up every single weapon and upgrades every single weapon and plays every single class, as you can see right here. So you have to do that so we can see my rifle as well. You know what I'm saying? So that way we can do that, which I don't actually I haven't switched over my my tier 2 EX elements, which I have plenty of them, don't get me wrong. But I just haven't yet because I've been playing both. So at any rate, but yeah, hopefully this was informative for y'all. Hopefully this helped out. So we all have no questions concerning this here. Keep on putting it back up so we all can see it. But happy hunting, y'all. Good luck on your fixes, on the new armors, on all the above. And I will see y'all in the next one. Holla.
Spike content.